I'm gonna share screen. Oh my god. Wait. For those who are probably watching right now, we're gonna live at 3 o'clock. Right now, I'm going to share some live video before we start. Can you see the video?
Yeah.
Arun? Okay.
Yeah.
Can you hear the sound as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, good. Okay, I'm trying to get the link for you guys. How do I get the link?
Namaste, I'm Shashi Gosai and welcome to your YouTube channel Simple Hinduism, which is dedicated to simplify the Hindu religion, culture, fasts and festivals. So what is Hinduism? Hinduism is the oldest religion in the world, dating more than 5,000 years, and is followed by over 1.5 billion people today, making it the third largest religion. Now, there were no founders, but it actually evolved as a way of life. Hindus was the name given to people that used to live around the Indus Valley, and the religious name Hinduism was only coined in the 19th century. Hinduism was actually called Sanatana Dharma, or the eternal law, as it gives you complete freedom to practice, as we believe there's not one, but there's many paths leading to God and the eternal truth. The Hindus believe in 7 core principles which were laid down in the Vedas over 5,000 years ago. Let me try and simplify them. The first core principle is one Brahma or Paramatma or Brahma, and that is a universal soul. Core number 2 is that we have an Atma, that's a soul within us which never dies. Core number 3 is this Karma, which is cause and effect, or whatever you do today will have a reaction, good or bad, in the future. Number 4, there is moksha. Moksha means you get released from this, the pattern of life and death. And that's when you become at one with the universe. Number 5 is, we have the Vedas, which are 4 books, and that specifies all the knowledge one needs to live in this world. Number 6 is that there's a cycle of time. So
Arun, Nages, I've already shared the exact link for the FB.
Time goes on,
this one,
and we come
in the Hinduism
we
group.
go, and so the universe carries on. And number 7 is dharma, which is to keep the balance in nature, and that's kept through peace and discipline in one's own way of life and thoughts. So these are the 7 core principles of Hinduism on which basis that we live and try to bring peace to the whole world. There are many texts that came out after the Vedas, and they all emphasize the fact that dharma has to be established in the society for it to function harmoniously. So let's look at the other texts. Well, the first one are the Upanishads, which are books on philosophy and answer the questions to one's life. Second one are called Puranas. They're a set of 18 books, which you can call the encyclopedia of Hinduism or Hindu beliefs. The third one is Ramayana, and this is a story about Rama, Sita, Lakshman and Hanumanji, and it is victory of good over evil. The fourth one is Mahabharata, which is perhaps the longest sacred book. It's 5 times longer than the Bible, and it's written in a poetic verses. It's a beautiful scripts, and if you really can get to the gist of it, you find the meaning of life. And for Mahabharata, there is a particular chapter called Bhagavad Gita, and this is when Lord Krishna reveals himself on the battlefield and gives the urges the fight over evil, and this is what he said is our karma. So these are the 5 sacred books that one reads and learns a lot about the meaning of life and how one should conduct themselves in the society. In Hinduism, there are 4 goals a person should aim for to have a perfect life. The first one is called dharma, which is ethics and duties in one's life. Number two is artha, which is true prosperity. Number three is kama, which is the pleasures of the body and mind. And number four is moksha, and that is to release oneself from this cycle of life and death. And to get that, we are advised to avoid 6 temptations in order to attain this moksha. So let's look at the 6 temptations. The first one is what we called kama, or lust and materialism. Number 2 is called krodha, or anger. Number 3 is lobha, or greed. Number 5 is moha, which is attachment to one's property, people, and power. Mada, which is pride, and matsarya, which is jealousy. So we believe that if you can stay away from these 6 temptations, the soul will become purer and it'll be easier for you to become one with the universe. Hindus believe in one God called Paramatma, and that is made of 3 aspects. That's Lord Vishnu, Lord Shiva, and Lord Brahma. And then there are further subdivisions which I've talked about in a different video. But the universal belief is whenever there's adharma, which means strife or evil in this world, the God reincarnates himself as a human being and comes and puts some kind of order in our lives again. So how do Hindus worship? Well, there are 4 types. The first one is called puja, which we do prayers at home or we go to the temple. Second one is called japa, which are recitations of our mantras. The third one is dhyana, which is actually meditation. And the fourth one are annual pilgrimages that we are encouraged to do to pay respects to our elderly, our ancestors, and also the deity that we believe in. So Hinduism has a complete freedom of practice. Because of its diversity, it makes Hinduism such a tolerant religion. Well, I hope you enjoyed listening to the overview of the religion, which I hope to simplify in shorter videos to come. And please do keep tuned in. Simple Hinduism. This is Shashi Gosai. Thank you so much.
All right. Okay. Okay, we've done that. Okay, first of all, thank you very much, my dearest speakers, Mr. ARUN, DORASAMY, and NAGES, for accepting my invitation to share about the Hindu religion. And now my name is Sharul. They call me Boon. That's why I call this talk show as Boon Talk Show. This is basically my nickname from my school time. Okay, today we are going to my 2 dearest speakers will share about Hinduism, basically the basic core teachings of Hinduism, and probably some social issues. Before that, those who are watching online, thank you for watching. You can start, asking questions from now. Okay, this one is supposed to be very casual, Arun?
Yeah.
It's supposed to be very casual. I also I don't put speakers there purposely, is because, I just want people to share. They don't feel the burden of, to be the priest or anyone. Just what you understand to the best of your ability, and then you share it to the public. So it's what sharers or speakers in this life. So it's supposed to be santai, boleh cakap Melayu, boleh cakap English, whatever language that you are comfortable. Saya tahu Arun sekarang ni tengah belajar Tamil, ada kelas Tamil, dia tengah belajar Melayu. Dia kata kalau jumpa orang Melayu, dia paksa orang tu untuk cakap Melayu.
Betul.
So that is to me the spirit, Okay, okay, nanti Arun akan cerita sikit probably dia punya background. Orang Melayu cakap tak kenal tak cinta, So to me itu penting. Bukan nak cinta macam mana Arun, don't get us wrong. It's just that sometimes macam Nages ada cakap, sometimes we bump into each other, terlanggar, itu Nages lah. We won't like, kalau you tak kenal, sometimes people are very mad, kadang you serang marah, but you say, oh, that's Arun, I know him, So we must try, especially the worst thing is if you don't even know your own jiran, your neighbor. To me, that is bad lah. you gaduh and you end up you balik to the same taman.
Betul.
That's to me is a no-no lah. Please, you know, in Malaysia, in the bigger context, kita cuba kenal each other. And this one also untuk kenalkan Hinduism. And kalau you macam tengok, this is basically the third of 8 series. The first one kita dah panggil semua orang, which is I apologize. I tak sempat untuk, you know, go deep into each. So you just surface. Arun pada tanya soalan which is I cannot answer. It's not fair to the rest of them. Otherwise, I'll just answer your question and you finish just by you know. But now you have more time. You have free time to ask. For those watching, boleh tanya apa soalan saja as long as you are being respectful. You tanya soalan, you putting comment not because you want to mock people, but you want to know the answer, so you listen to them. So kalau nak tahu pasal agama Hindu, you ask NAGES or ARUN. You want to know about, you know, ask from people, at least people that have some certain level of knowledge and expertise. Boleh ya NAGES?
Boleh,
NAGES
no problem.
muka serius, saya takut sikit lah.
memang macam tu.
Jangan cakap kita.
Cikgu dia.
Ha?
Dia cikgu.
Cikgu tak boleh macam tu, nanti budak takut, you know. Okay, I think we just go straight. Basically, this one will be, you know, there will be 3-part series. The first part, basically, I just want to know more about both of the speakers, the sharers. Then the second part will be a bit more on the basic teachings of Hinduism. What's your core belief, your purpose, your salvation, and whatnot. And the third one is how that belief or religion can you know, their views on some of the social issues. If you can, we can help with those kind of issues that I think that we should. I think without further ado, can we start dengan siapa? Dengan probably NAGES, the cikgu yang garang.
Betul.
Okay. Good evening all. So Mr. Arun and Mr. Sharul, thank you for, first of all, because inviting me, and also thanks to Mr. Arun also invited me. Okay. So I am actually a teacher, and then lecturer, and then also doing some editing work, and then I'm in the Hinduism fields about 30 years. So I write blogs. I think my blogs got about 160 articles regarding Hinduism, plus some social issues, and then some answering for our other friends like Zamiri Vinod and so on. So we got various. I'm a teacher. Sometimes a teacher a bit fierce is better because sometimes our students can sit on the head. But normally I will be serious in the beginning, but later part I'll be one of the jovial person with the student. Student mostly likes me. Okay, I think that's all about me.
Okay.
Mr. Arun.
Okay, probably Arun, you share a bit about yourself.
Salam, வெற்றிவேல் முருகனுக்கு இன்பமே சொல்க நம் எல்லோரும் வாழ்க. Salam petang ya. Semua, nama saya ARUN DORASAMY. Saya daripada beberapa NGO, namingly Kita Bantu Kita, Agama Money Malaysia dan Hindu Service Center. First of all, terima kasih kepada saudara Sharul membuat rancangan-rancangan begini untuk kita lebih baik mengenali saudara-saudara kita yang lain. Macam kata orang, tak kenal maka tak cinta. Tak cinta maka tak adalah jiwa, tak adalah bangsa, tak adalah negara. So memang perpaduan boleh bermula di sini bila kita tahu akan jiran-jiran kita, kepercayaan-kepercayaan mereka, adat-adat mereka, kebudayaan mereka, yang itulah menjadikan Malaysia sebagai sebuah negara yang betul-betul unik. Saya pernah melawat lebih kurang 37 negara, and saya tinggal dekat US lebih kurang 21 tahun. So memang tak ada tempat sebaik Malaysia. Yang itu memang betul. Memang betul. So saya memang suka bersantai-santai macam ini tanpa sebarang agenda yang serius. Kita nak share view kita nak sebanyak mungkin nak jawab soalan-soalan, doubt-doubts yang ada, macam tu je lah. So saya hari ini akan cuba sedaya upaya saya memberi penerangan yang serengkas yang mungkin untuk semua faham akan kepercayaan sanadana dharma. Kita panggil sebagai Hinduism. Nama benar Hinduism itu adalah Sanatana Dharma. Sanatana meaning universal, sejagat. Dharma meaning it is a principle. Okay? Terima kasih. That is me, Arun Dorasamy.
Okay, terima kasih Mr. Arun. Dia tak cakap banyak but from his short CV that yang I dapat pada dia, dia kata he's from Paloh, Johor Arun?
Yeah, anak Johor.
Anak Johor luaskan kuasa umur. And but he grew up in USA. That's why dia balik, dia belajar Tamil. Sekarang belajar. Bila you balik? Lama dah?
Dah 7 tahun dah, 8 tahun dah.
Dah 7-8 tahun.
Yeah. So sekarang dah pandai fasih bahasa kebangsaan saya, bahasa Malaysia. Lepas tu bahasa Tamil. And saya juga fasih dalam bahasa Spanish, Hindi dan
wow.
English. Yeah.
So Arun duduk di which part of state? I think 20 or 30 years dekat sana.
Saya bermula di Texas, lepas tu Kansas. Sebelum saya balik Malaysia, saya dekat California. So daripada Midwest lah. I'm the breed of the Midwest.
Right. Okay, I've never been to US yet, but thank you, Arun.
We should go together.
Yeah. So before that, I called him and we talked a bit about Trump and whatnot. So probably have to go later on. It is very interesting. Okay, Arun dia cakap dia, he's mechanical engineer. He studied mechanical engineer by education, and basically he's the business intelligence by profession, consultant, and a law student by passion. Yes. Kalau tak tahu, Mr. Arun is very active as a national social activist. I think 4.5 pun dia ada dengan some Hindu group yang akan apply for e-police. Was that EPDRM? So basically the police.
Oh yeah, influencer lah. Kita benda-benda yang baik kita viralkan so that a lot of people can benefit out of it.
Correct. So we need more police in from Indian community, probably Chinese if they're up for it. Okay, that's good. Okay, and Mr. Nages is basically he's very he's a lecturer, free times lecturer dekat TAR College.
Yeah.
So he's very passionate about Hinduism. Dia ada blog dia punya sendiri I think dia ada dua. He's a founder and chairman of Siwa City Spiritual Foundation. He got his Facebook, Siwa City Speaks, and juga Siwa City, I think Blogspot 1082. Okay, kita tadi Arun dah start dengan bagikan I think is that the proper name of Hinduism is basically Sanatana Dharma. It's basically universal principle. Some they call it as it's ways of life, rather than it's more like philosophy mixed together with religion. One of the oldest religion in the world, and probably with that we give it to Mr. Nages to start with a little bit of of Hinduism.
Okay, thank you. Actually, Hinduism we call Sanatana Dharma. Sanatana Dharma actually we call eternal law, which is like an atom. Nobody created, nobody can destroy it, or it only can change according to the time frame. So Hinduism is considered something which is eternal. Nobody created, and it will be there forever. So that is one of the term we use. The other way, then we also can call it as Hinduism. Hinduism is the name is about 200 to 300 years ago, but actually the people of India they used the term of Hindu or Indic about 500 to 1,000 years. So the name is not a new name. Only when the British and the Persian came to this side, then only they named after the river, Indus River, which is they can't pronounce properly. So finally it's become Sindhu, become Hindu, and finally become Hindu today. So besides that, there is another term we can use it. There is a term Arya. See, the Aryan name is a very popular, but always the name is alienated from Indian. But actually, the Aryan, the meaning of Aryan itself, a person who is noble, who is civilized, who is led by the Brahman, led by the light. So basically, that is the term used for the Hindus in the very earlier time, because the land of Aryan is between from the Himalaya, Kailash, to the Kanyakumari south, and from the Sindhu Saraswati river to the west, and then the east, the other side. So that is the land of Arya. It is mentioned in the scriptures. So Arya is not a foreigner. Most of the time, some misconception takes place that the Aryans invaded India. So that is a misconception, probably done by the Indologists when they rewrote about the history of India. Okay, basically these three terms can be used for Sanatana Dharma or Hinduism or Arya Dharma. So these are basically the three things.
Okay. Thank you, Nages. One thing about my free talk show is basically those watching on FB Live, they can start asking questions. So I'll try to blend from the first minute until the end. It's just that they know that there are 3 sections. Basically, the first section is done. Knowing a bit more about Nages and Arun now is basically the core belief, and only then we go to the. But you can ask questions. I can accumulate later on. And also, Arun, you are free to cut me or add on to whatever Nages is saying. No, it is free. Like Nages also can add on to Arun. If he missed something or he missed or he put something wrong,
okay,
you can correct him.
No problem.
All right. So what is it? How is it to be a Hindu? You know, when you call or Sanatana Dharma. So
a Hindu.
Yeah. Bagi Arun pula.
Bagi Arun. Boleh tak? Bagi Arun dulu.
Okey, dekat sini saya nak beri satu penjelasan. Mungkin kebanyakan penjelasan yang diberi oleh saudara Nages lebih mendalam lagi. Saya akan sejaya upaya beri keterangan yang memang lebih ringkas and easy untuk kita faham. So kalau kita nak tahu siapa itu Hindu, siapa itu Hindu. So kebanyakan agama-agama macam Abrahamic religion, whether it is Jewish, whether it is Christian or Islam. Like untuk yang Islam, kalau nak masuk Islam kita ada kalimat syahadah. And macam tu for the Christian kita ada baptism and that kind of process, and likewise for Jewish. Untuk Hindu tu kan, kita there's one thing about Hindu, we do not pay attention much to the action, the thought that counts. So for that reason, there's no one action that I can say or I can do that will tell me that I'm already a Hindu. Meaning I tak boleh macam masuk Hindu lah. Okay, kita tak ada konsep yang masuk Hindu. Tetapi if in your thoughts kamu dah percaya kepada Tuhan yang Esa, God is one, you believe in some of the fundamentals, whether it's incarnation and things like that, you already consider a person with a Sanatana Dharma, okay, universal truth. Okay, so that's why we always say Hinduism is not actually a religion. Okay, it is not a religion. It is a way of life. It is a truth of life, a science of life for you to live a peaceful life. So it is all philosophical. So whether it is Hinduism or Buddhism or Sikhism, Jainism, all this ism religion, which we all call it dharmic religion. Abrahamic religion, dharmic religion. Abrahamic religion, they have one holy book and they follow exactly what is in the holy book. And dharmic religion, they do have more than one holy books, but they are very much a philosophical religion based on human life for a peaceful life. So to answer your question, who is a Hindu? Actually, everybody is Hindu. All those that believe in God, okay, believe in all the fundamentals. But there's no such thing that you convert to Hindu. You can practice Hindu. Everybody can practice Hindu, but there's no such thing that I'm converting myself to Hindu and that kind of stuff. So that is one one question that a lot of people have asked me, hey, I want to convert to Hindu, what I do? You don't convert, okay? You just practice the universal truth, okay? Do good, be good, and your karma will decide everything else, and things like that. So simple. That's to answer your question. What is Hindu? Okay, Sanatana Dharma is a science of life, universal truth of life for a peaceful journey. That's all.
Thank you. I think you are, I put it a bit philosophical or very philosophical in the sense that, you know, it's kind of hard to really digest that thing. I mean, in the sense that everyone is Hindu in that sense, that you don't convert or you don't become Hindu, just way of life that you practice, which is, I mean, I respect that in a certain sense. Okay, for those who are watching on the AB Live, you have like 20 seconds delay from what on the Zoom, about 20 seconds delay, but still okay. Okay, Nages, whether you agree that Hinduism or Sanatana Dharma is basically just a philosophical and not a religion. Over to you.
Okay, what Mr. Arun said is partly yes. Okay, because if we look properly, we can see there is 4 categories of Hindus. Okay, first I try to clarify that. One group, they claim themselves as seekers. They claim themselves seekers. So they do meditation, all this kind to search for a God. Okay, there is another group. They follow something like a religion. So they follow a certain God, and then they follow certain rituals and so on. So that group we can tell them, consider them as believers, right? And then there is another group. Themselves they follow a certain guru's teaching orders. So we call it a sampradayam followers. So they follow certain gurus. So this is a small group which is they follow the particular teachings, and they don't join the other groups. So they still comes under Hinduism. Okay, and there is one more group which is they don't believe in God, all this. We consider them as Nastikas or atheism, but still they're still within the Hindu fold. So there are 4 different groups. That is the problem among the Hindus, because one group will claim the others are not following the right order, another group will claim the other side. So this is among the Hindus, basically there is a problem there. Okay, but basically as a Hindu, based on the scriptures, all that, as far I know, so they have must follow. There is 5 types of things as a Hindu must follow. First thing, he is supposed to believe. They must have a strong belief in God. Okay, Parabrahman. 1. Number 2, there is a way of life where from the day the person born until the person dies, they must go through rituals and the chain of rituals we call Sadange, Sampradayam, all this. Okay, and then they must follow the scriptures. They must believe the scriptures, the highest scriptures, which is Vedas. And then there is a compulsory duties as a Hindu. There is 5 compulsory duties as a Hindu. Okay, and the last one, there is a character and attitude of the person. So all this is determine the person as a Hindu. Okay, so if you go one by one, I can explain in detail what are duties, what are the beliefs, and then what is the way of life. The way of life from the day the person born until the person dies. There is a rituals as a Hindu must follow. So these are basic 5 things I just share now. Then later we can go into deeper a bit.
Okay, thanks. We have a couple of comments and questions. Alistan dia cakap lebih kenal satu sama lain lebih baik, lebih saling hormat if you know each other. We understand how, because to me macam like I'm a Muslim, macam Muslim basically macam Islam tu penting untuk dia derivekan dia punya value system, you know, especially on that moral, you know, what we think is a good thing, what is not a bad thing. So normally our values we derive from our religion, you know, what is right and what is not so right, or what is moral and not. And no, there must be something. Otherwise, there is no objective of say morality or whatnot. You know, if people can really interpret macam Arun, saya philosophical Arun. Kalau orang dia kata, you know, they do certain things that to us is antisocial, or probably they do certain things that is to me very individualistic. No? They do certain things that, you know, according to him is okay, it's fine. So how do you reconcile that? Because we're living in a society, then you have problem. No? Like what Mr. Nages said, of course, there are certain do's and don'ts. To be a Hindu, you have to do this, and this, you know. So at least that is the guideline or the values that you're supposed to observe. You know? Otherwise, we say everyone is Hindu. So even the atheist is Hindu, even the atheist okay, kalau yang baik. Kalau yang tak baik, macam mana? So you have all this like free for all, like the cowboy, you know?
No. See, let me interject there. Yeah. Okay, do you know the certain things called Islamic countries index? Okay, they will value certain countries in terms of how Islamic are their country. Okay, you're familiar with that index, yeah?
I've seen it.
Yeah. So it is. So when they take this index, okay, in terms of corruption, in terms of equality, in terms of justice and all the stuff, they take and check upon countries like Norway and Denmark and Netherlands and all the stuff. And we know that the top 20 countries, all of them are non-Islamic countries. Yeah. So how do they do? Okay, they actually compare the values. So when I said like everyone could be Hindu, is basically what I'm trying to say, that there's no such thing of entrance and exit. Okay, it is your behavior and your thoughts is the one will decide who you are. And like what Nages said, okay, they probably there are some elements, 5 elements that you should follow and things like that. But that is actually a guidance. Eventually, the one dictates. It is not your action, but your thoughts. Even in Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna has said it very, very loudly and clear. It is not your karma. Karma meaning action is the one decides it is sin or it is sin or it is dharma. It is the thoughts behind it, not the action. So when I was saying this, I was deliberately having this one in mind. The values is more important. The thoughts are important. That means, so it is so universal, and so it can dive into anyone. Can I jive this thoughts into Islamic teachings? Yes, you bet we can. The same thing with the Christians and all the stuff, because it's so liquid, it is so formless, but the thoughts and the core principle and values are the same. So that is what I meant.
All right. I think